everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina and today I have my 9th update for my Pan That Eyeshadows series. Not gonna lie you guys, I'm really frustrated in this update and I'm not feeling discouraged. I'm not frustrated in the sense that I want to quit or anything. It's just like I put so much work into it and I feel like I haven't seen any rewards for my efforts yet. I am still determined to do what I set out to do, so don't take this as me being like aggravated and wanting to quit. It's just when you put a lot of work into something and you feel like you didn't get the rewards that you were expecting, I'm a little disappointed, a little frustrated, but all in all, I'm still feeling okay. I was just hoping for a little bit more of an exciting update for you guys, and unfortunately, I don't have that today. So before I jump into today's update, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. I do upload on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard. And I don't want you guys to miss out on any of my videos if these are interesting to you. And without further ado, let's get into today's update. So as a quick refresher, these are the shades that we are working on. A lot of these shades have been in since the very beginning. The shades I have right now are an entirely workable palette together for the most part. Some of these shades really don't like to work together, as I've discovered now. But for the most part, everything can pretty much be used in conjunction. The majority of these shades again have been in since the beginning and I'm feeling a little discouraged with these. So last month, as you guys remember, I told you guys to yell at me. Everyone yell at me in the comments. Yell at me like Harry Potter did in book 5. Please, just yell at me. To my surprise, a lot of you guys did, and I wanted to thank you guys for doing that for me because it did really help me. I don't know what it is about negative reinforcement that really works for me, but apparently it does. Probably something I need to think about in future endeavors in my life. But anyways, so a lot of you guys yelled at me to use the color Chic a lot more, and I did. I ended up successfully doing everything that I said in my last update I wanted to do. I did not reach the end result that I thought we would get, so I'm a little disappointed because I feel like I'm letting you guys down in some way. So let's get into the update for my shades. So as many of you guys know, I tally for all of my shades. I have those right in front of me. I did not have them last month because last month was just a bad month for me. I think I'm getting back into the swing of things now, so I do have my tallies for this month. I also have a lot of pictures to show you guys of the eye look, so those will be coming in just a minute, but let's get into just talking about the shades real quick. So the first shade that we have is my Urban Decay Born to Run palette. The shade we have currently in this series is the shade Riff, which you guys know is a mid-tone, like warm brown. I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing almost every single shade today except for my blue shade. Everything else though is on my lids. And that's how it's been basically all month. I ended up using this shade 19 times, so right about 20. That was almost every time I wore eyeshadow. There were a couple days where I was like, I can't use these shades anymore. I need to do something different. I'm pretty light-handed with all of my makeup always. It's just my aesthetic. I don't like heavy makeup. So I have been trying to go a little heavier with the eyeshadow in some days, which again, you guys will see in the eye pictures later on. And it's just frustrating because I feel like I should have had more progress, but one of you guys did mention in my last video that it probably is going to be slower progress on things like mattes because I am using a bigger blending brush, which I think could be the case with a lot of these shades. So the standard size brush I'm using is like a blending brush this big, so of course like it's going to disperse the shadow a lot more like well-rounded and not really going to be a concentrated dips like my shimmers usually are. Usually with my shimmers I use a really small brush, so it does make more sense that this is moving slower. But I watched so many people's videos doing these and I swear I've used this shade like 50 times almost at this point and it hasn't moved very much. So like I think I'm just, you see what I mean? Like I'm just so frustrated. Like I don't understand if I'm doing something wrong, if shadows really last this long. Am I too light-handed? But like I don't particularly like putting a lot of shadow on my lid. I don't know, you guys. Second shade is my Picante palette. The shade in this, as you guys know, is Dune, which is the mustardy yellow. I am also wearing this shade today, and I feel like this one does look a lot different. I feel like the dip in this one is very noticeable in comparison, but I feel like this pan is very deep. I thought once this dip started forming more, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit pan soon. I haven't hit pan yet, which is surprising to me because I feel like it's very deep now, and I feel like pan should be about to pop out, but it's not quite there yet. I ended up using this shade only 16 times, so less than Riff, but still a good bit for a mustardy yellow. I'm a little tired of this shade right now just because I feel like it always leans my looks in one direction and it always ends up looking the same to me. So I'm a little tired of doing like the same look over and over again. I'm still very determined because I feel like I'm so close at this point, and I feel like another 16 uses, hopefully, I will hit pan. But again, this is another shade that's been in since the beginning, so we're at least at about 30 or more uses of this guy at this point, and it's just difficult to know, like, am I not just using enough, or like I'm constantly feeling like I'm doing something wrong because I see other people hit shadow pan so much faster than this, and I'm not one of those people apparently. It's very strange to me. We all have our strengths, I guess. But I mean, again, successfully, I used this a ton in this past month. I feel like I got a lot of good looks out of it, and I feel very close to hitting pan, so I do feel really determined to finish this one. I am so determined to hit pan on this next month if I can. If anything, I'm just gonna start wearing yellow eye looks every day, just this shade all over, just really heavy all over until I hit pan on it. That's how determined I am. We'll see how it goes. Next shade is the shade that all of you guys yelled at me to use, and it's from my Persona palette. This is the Persona Identity palette, and the shade that I told you to yell at me for was Chic. As you can see though, we have not hit pan in Chic, but I did end up using it a lot more than I had been, so I feel very good about it. And looking at Seductive in comparison to Chic, I think Chic probably about another 5 to 10 uses depending on like how heavy I go with it should be all I need to hit pan on this. Now I do only mainly use this as an accent color. I'm wearing this one again today. It doesn't really blend that well with Riff or with Dune. It kind of looks choppy when blended on top of those, which is how I ended up having to use it a lot. I've also noticed when I try to build this on top of itself, it picks itself up and it doesn't lay very nice. So I'm not gonna lie, this is a very frustrating shade to use with all the other ones. If I use this shade with this palette, just generally, it works fine, but with other shades, it doesn't play too nice. So it has been kind of a difficult shade to use this month with all of my other ones. But I mean, again, I did use it. I ended up using this one 22 times, so thank you to everyone who yelled at me. That's the most I used any of these shades, so I feel very good about it. I think that's the most I could probably wear eyeshadow in the month, just generally, like using the same shade. I think that's the most I could probably use one shade in a month, so I feel very good about it. Again, thank you guys for yelling at me. But again, as you can see, 22 uses and I still didn't hit pan. So it just goes to show eyeshadows really do take a lot to hit pan. It's taking a lot more than I realized. For like mattes, I mean, all of these so far are matte shades, so it's a lot of work, a lot more work than I was expecting, I think. I am still determined. I don't feel discouraged with any of this. Frustration is just because I thought I would have pan to show you guys, but I'm very close on a lot of these, so I feel pretty good about it. Next shade is the shade I used the least amount this month. I used it 3 times. Every time I used it as a liner, and it's from my Alamar palette. This is the shade Varadero. It's the blue. And I only used it as a liner in this past month. It really doesn't work well, I feel like, with the other shades. It could kind of work with Dune on its own, but with everything else, it just ends up looking very heavy and muddy. So I need to just use it with other shades. I think it kind of works with the other shade. I think it's just too heavy for me as a general color. It's a lot of deepness. And the only other thing too is I use it as a liner, and I'm having a problem with this transferring. So when I use it as a liner, it like transfers onto my hood, because obviously my hood sits on top of my liner. So I really need something that doesn't transfer. This transfers, and I don't know how to get it to not, and it looks really crazy. By the end of the day, it looks like I have like a blue line just like hanging out on my hood, which is weird. So I don't really like using it all the time as a liner. I don't know if it's because it's getting hot and more humid and my skin is a little bit oilier and sweatier that it's transferring easier, but it's transferring and it's not the prettiest. The dip's not much bigger, three uses isn't that much, but I need to play with it and figure out a way that I can actually wear it where I like it. If not, I think next update I'm gonna roll this out because I'm just not enjoying it. I don't think it's a shade I particularly like on me, first of all, and I don't really know how to wear it where I feel comfortable in it. And I don't think makeup should be forced upon you if you don't like something. So I am gonna end up rolling that one out next month if I can't figure out a better way to use it where I actually enjoy it, because I mean there's no point in doing that for me. I like the formula, I like the shade overall, I think it's pretty to look at, but as far as how it looks on me, I'm not really feeling it in that way, and I'd rather just roll something else in that I can get some use out of. And then the newest shade in this project is from my Zodiac palette. This is the ColourPop Zodiac palette, and I rolled in the color Leo. It does have a nice little dip started already. It did not really have a dip when I rolled this in, but again, shimmers are really easy for me because you can use a really concentrated brush. It kind of looks like I'm putting my finger right there. That's what the dip is kind of starting to look like. And again, I'm wearing this one today. Really easy for me to wear. Just throw it on the lid. Boom, we're good to go. It works with a lot. It works with all the shades I have in this project for the most part, and it's just really easy. So I feel good about this one. I actually ended up using this one 17 times, so I did use this one a lot for its first month. And as you can see, there's already a dip. I just find shimmers so much more easy to get through than mattes. I don't know why. I know a lot of other people are the opposite of that, but for me, shimmers are just easy. And I feel like in about two to 3 months, I think I'll probably have pan on this guy as well. And so that's the update on all of the shades. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put in all of the eye looks I did. There's a lot of them that look really similar. I didn't take pictures of every single eye look I did because some of them I literally did the exact same thing for days on end. And so I didn't take pictures every time I did the exact same look. Some of them are the same if I forgot or I used it at a different week. But for the most part, I try to do pictures of every look that was slightly different. So here we go. It's gonna be a very long montage, but let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments. So now that all of the pictures are out of the way, that is basically the entire video. Again, I'm so sorry that I couldn't roll anything new in, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying this series at least. I feel very determined that by next month we should have some new shades coming in. I feel like we're very, very close on those shades. And I just wanted to thank you guys again for motivating me to use these as much as I did in the last month. I think this is the most progress we've had in 1 month with some of these shades. So again, thank you guys so much. And hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye!